Hello viewers, well welcome to the first career video on Redout. Let's see, let's get stuck in.
Rookie. Your first ship will be sponsored. You may purchase the others by winning races. Each team has its own strengths and weak spots, so choose carefully. Select your starting ship now.
Okay, so I'll be stopping for the computer voice to explain things along the way. I won't be talking all the way through this video, sometimes just getting into the flow of the music, but will it be explaining my impressions. So first I'm looking at the different ships and I'm looking at the different attributes they all have, seeing what would work for me. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a balance of acceleration, max speed and grip. I'm going to ignore some other things such as the recharge, energy and structure. You know, at the end of the day, if you're a weaker ship, you've got to dodge the walls and drive better. But if you've got a competitive ship, you can always win races. So just sort of trying to find something that has the right balance there. This one has good grip, so I know that's going to help me to prevent me hitting the walls. But also, I know that it's got a decent amount of acceleration top speed.
Select an event from the next event menu. More events will unlock as your pilot level increases. You will gain experience, fame and money for each race completed.
Okay, so that's pretty straightforward structure. More will be explained later. It does develop. So away we go into our first race. So before this I did a couple of quick races, one of which you'll already have seen online, because that's the first thing you want to do is go in and have a quick race. And then after that, once you've got the basic handling down, you can get stuck into Redout. So here it is running on my GTX 780. And away we go, nice and smooth. A nice simple course to start with. Love this long corner, looks really nicely with the two sticks. Oversteering there, partially because the way part of the scenery fades in. Happens to me a few times. We start off with a time trial, which is great. It's an introduction to the course and just to setting some speed. It's amazing how much better you get at it though. You come back to this after doing a couple of championships and this is really simple compared to some of the tracks further in the game. Wow, boy, does it get hard, I have to say. And fast, wonderfully fast. So I'm going to start talking about the control while we're looking here, what I'm learning. So you've got twin stick control, okay, and it's a bit unusual. It was I remember sort of playing it and thinking I don't really know what I'm doing, but whatever I'm doing, it's working. You've got the left stick, which is your sort of left and right with the left stick. And then you've got the right stick, which is sort of for up and down, and actually it sort of works with craft tilting. So it turns out, I mean, originally I thought that the right stick was your air brake, but in actual fact it's more almost of a lean into the corner in a way, and the left stick is almost like an air brake. I find that sort of works more as an air brake. So you're trying to combine the two so you don't lose too much speed. If you just turn into a corner, it sort of scrubs off speed all the way around. Knowing how to come off those loop-the-loops is important as well. Like there, you get drawn to the left-hand side, so you have to keep leaning to the right, getting your speed boosts. And again here, you need to turn in really early to this. I was a bit late there, but once you learn the course, you really start to turn before you get to the corners. That corner I still find I touch the wall now and again, but it's just a slight bump. It doesn't bother you in any way. So it's just a case of learning these sort of refined controls. Wonderful visuals though. I mean, I'd love to see this running full graphics. You know, this is not full graphics. I mean, what it would look like on a 1080, you know, or a new Titan would be amazing. You know, a game like this in 4K, 60 frames. Wow, that'd be pretty mind blowing. So certainly running very smoothly for me here. Just a note to those of you who use VR headsets and don't want to play it in VR, you have to pull your headset out, so you actually have to pull out the USB. That's something the developers need to look at, is sorting that really, so you don't have to pull your VR headset out every time you want to play it full screen. Another little thing you'll notice is in the bottom right corner, you can see the little green dot of the shadow play recording. I have to record from the desktop to record this. It won't record in-game, which is just another bizarre thing. No idea why. Couldn't get it working, so hence we've had to record it via the desktop. Still running full screen, of course, but you just get your little dot in the corner. But so you guys know that. So that was nice little introduction. I'd done a little practice, increased to level 2, a long way to go. Maybe I'm having a glass of water in real life at the same time. I should just sort of simulate that. That's probably what happened there. Little glass of water between races. I'm like, woo! It's pretty fast. No, I'm not there yet. Those of you who watched Retro Alan recently will have seen me playing Wipeout. You know, it's weird. I've been doing these games for so long. Just trying to wake up that old speed demon inside me. Okay, so now we do a race. And we see, obviously it's much more intense. And what am I learning straight away? Well, the first thing I learned as you go into it is your boost. You're always boosting. You're always boosting. You've got to know where you boost around the circuit to maximise your boost, but you're always boosting. Don't stop boosting. Got to hit those as well. Vital that you hit those sort of speed boost things. You lose a lot of time on your rivals if you don't. And you've got to be committed as well. You know, if you make mistakes, the rivals will just fall away, and you'll just be left behind. They start a bit easier on level 1, but once you proceed at a level 1, the rival cars are really tough. If you do this as a single race, it's much more difficult. I actually could never win it as a single race, but when I went into the championship, it becomes a little bit easier. The game is hard. Now, one of the things I've come up against, and I'm going to mention this, is whenever I come past cars or other craft, when they touch you, they sort of knock you sideways, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's a frustration I think the developers should look at. So there are two things really: pulling out your VR USB and the way you pass other craft. It needs to be looked at. What can be frustrating on the harder difficulty settings, and you'll see that in later videos when I go through the career. So I'm doing my best to catch up with these guys. Music as well. We'll just have a little touch on music as well early on. Music generally I think is fantastic for the environments that we're in. The only thing I will say is they could do with a bit more music, because when you're playing like 3 races in Cairo, one after the other, and they play the Cairo music for 3 races in a row, you kind of need a bit more music. That's the only time that the music sounds sort of, there's some repetition to it. But that's the finish. That's another strange thing as well. It announces finish probably, what, 5-6 seconds after you cross the finish line. So you think, oh, do I have another lap to do? And then you realise it's the finish. It's a strange, quirky thing. It'd be nice if it said finish when you crossed the line. You know, that would be another nice little tweaks. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I've done that first track. I've got this down. Let's see how we get on. Now, that wasn't too bad. The challenge starts now, because now we're going to go to courses I haven't played. I've only tried 2 courses in the entire game. That was one of them. Now we're going to go to a brand new course. Oh no, is this time attack now? Yeah, brand new course. Never done this course before. And I'm thinking, right, so on every race now, you're going to see me learning the course. So I'm just following my way around. You'll see me oversteering, understeering on the first lap, and then really working it out on the second lap. But you know, some tracks are harder to learn than others. These aren't too bad. You've got tracks further in the game that are all kind of all over the place, and you're like, wow, where am I going? And because there's not so much visual information, they're harder to learn. But love that bank corner. Missed the speed boost. Always got to bear right at the top of that hill. Oversteered there. Generally speaking, you go with the flow, go deep into the corner, get to the middle, get that not too far, and then boost along here, get real speed, control it through the air. Limited control in the air on some circuits, and on your craft as well. So always a new record. That gives that feeling of Wipeout. Now, some of you are going to be asking me while I'm playing this and learning this course, what's it like? Is it like Wipeout? Is it like F-Zero? Well, actually, it's a combination of both. When I first played it, I thought it was like Wipeout, nothing like F-Zero. And then I played it and realised that the way you use the air brake control is actually very similar to F-Zero. You know, F-Zero GX, for example, is all about using the air brakes to get around 90-degree bends and those sort of tricky scenarios. So you're using your air brakes in a very similar way to F-Zero, but the actual floaty bounciness of the car feels more like Wipeout. So there's actually a combination of the two here, with a unique slant in terms of the artwork and design. This is wonderful work because in that sense they've created something new. They've taken aspects of different genres, they've combined and fused those aspects in a way that works. Excellent work by the developers there. This is, to me, is what indie games are about in a way. You know, on the one hand, they've got great production values. I mean, the production value here is outstanding. On the other hand, they've got unique ideas and it brings aspects together. I'm going to talk more about this on futuristic racers on another video as well, because it's about time we got a bit more exposure for the genre. You know, it's returning. Let's keep it here. And at the same time, I hope for indies and for sim racers the same thing happens with Assetto Corsa, and that they sort that game out. So that is the finish there. I didn't know what was going on again there. I was like, oh, my control. Still good to get a gold medal. Generally speaking, this is an uncut video I'm showing to you guys here. I think part 2 will be uncut, and then after that part 3 will be cut, because that's when I start to encounter the challenges and it's time to restart. But I will show you all the restarts and mistakes and what I learned along the way, and share that with you, you know, so you can enjoy that as well.
Install power-ups on your ship. Active power-ups need to be manually fired during a race. Passive power-ups give your ship some special traits. You can install one active and one passive power-up at any given time. You can also spend money to upgrade your power-ups, making them sensibly more effective.
Okay, so I can say now, actually I was a little bit confused by the power-ups and the passive layout, in terms of I didn't know I could buy any of them right now. I wasn't entirely clear to me. It sounds a bit silly, but I think what it was, so you've got to hit the left trigger and bumper buttons to slide across, and I just wasn't entirely certain what I was doing there. I was trying to select it, and what it is, I'd bought it but I hadn't equipped it. That was the thing there. And then when it came to in-game, I was forgetting what my weapon was doing, so I just wasn't using it. So you'll see me not using my weapons at all in the first 2 classes of this game, and then figuring it out. So I do get there and figure it all out. I think there were some aspects of it that could have been a bit clearer there. The presentation is functional, if a bit bare bones and minimalistic at times. And as I say, the weapon systems are not entirely clear to me even now. I think sometimes it would. I don't know what else I could do to remind myself, but even when you're using them, it's not clear whether you're doing it right. But we'll get to that later. So away we go then. Another new circuit. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. I'm like, what was that? Oh, so frustrating. Now I'm sure that happens to people all the time on this circuit when they first get to it. It's just got a funny takeoff. It's the way you're taking off, and it's taken some getting used to, in fact, even especially when you move up to different craft. And then we come to this hairpin here. You want to slide when you get that right, it's a wonderful feeling. You just feel like, yeah, badass. Loving the speed. And this is class 1. This is the slow class. You wait till we get to the faster stuff. Wow. I mean, it gets. Not only does it get fast, but the AI. Here we go again to that jump, and just made it that time, but went into the other side. Yeah, it was a bit tricky getting that right. I didn't quite have the handle on this, and so I'm really on it now. I'm thinking, come on, give it everything. Give it everything. I don't want to restart if I can help it. I want to win this race. The feeling of speed you get from the environments, from the track surface. Wonderful, wonderful feeling of speed. Anyway, I think we finished in 3rd there in the end. Yeah, there we go. Finish. You know, a minute later. Bronze medal awarded. So I'm thinking, do you know what? That's fine. Let's just get through it. Let's get through it. I haven't tested the online features yet. I'm not going to be doing that until until I get through the sort of one-player career, and then after that I'm going to test the one-player feature out a bit more and see what it looks like. Multiplayer. See what that looks like. I have tried it on VR, I will point out, but unfortunately my VR headset is not powerful enough to run. My graphics card is not powerful enough to run this game. So one day, when I have the budget for an upgrade, I'll go for that. My ship for some reason wouldn't start then, and I was like, "What? The button's not working." Okay, off we go. So I did this track earlier, and now it's time to put that knowledge to the test. Love this corner. Love this corner. It's just fantastic. Look at the speed. Now again, I'm oversteering here. I think slightly on. I know that's better. Felt a little bit of redding out there. Ah, lovely speed. Oh, and got hit there, but oh, come on. Yes. Now, your craft is a bit like, whoa, in the air. All right, it might seem like, oh, you want to go that way and land there. But in actual fact, it's not as straightforward as it seems when you're in the air. You can kind of, please, and then you just fall off the side. So you've got to get your takeoff right, basically. If you get your takeoff wrong, well, it's pretty much goodbye. Always controlling the stick here, you know, up and down, you know, getting the speed up there. Touching the wall slightly, so losing some speed. It's a bit of Wipeout style music there. A bit of Wipeout 3 vibe there. Ooh, make it. No, you see, there's an example of I'm trying to edge the ship over, and I know it's no good. But you know what? The more you play it, as I say, this is the first time coming through each course in anger. It's amazing how much better you get. I mean, this is still me at a very early stage of playing. You know, in my first couple of races. After a couple of hours, when that second stick clicks, as Valerio told me, the developer, he says, you know, that second stick, just work on it, and I have. And you'll see in later videos some pretty intense racing. We like hard though, but it depends how difficult the game gets. I think getting to class 4 is going to be a mighty challenge. We haven't even got to the challenge yet. This is the easy stuff.
New record.
So,
Final lap. Contender eliminated.
there's that Wipeout vibe again, isn't there? Getting eliminated contender. Oh, amazing. Through that corner, sandstorm. Just the views, the environments, it's so well rendered, it's so well artistically put together. And we've been looking forward to this game for some time on Team BBB. You know, we've been covering the trailers and saying, wow, it looks amazing. And this game went quiet for like a year, no one was saying anything about it. Suddenly it's come out of there and, beat me, look at that. Not much in it, but he just had a bit more boost than me. I think it was down to me missing a boost earlier, and then that was it. That kind of finished it for me. Let's center you guys there a bit more. That's it. So, a few races done. And I'm just seeing what else is available, but I'll come back to all that later. And I'll have a video just looking at some of the different weapons. I'll probably, if it's popular, I'll do a video looking at all the different weapons at some stage and how they work, but that's a way down the line yet.
3, 2, 1, go.
So, Frozen Speedway. Luckily for me, I think this is one of the tracks I'd already done. We have that side there. A lot of my videos I'll point out are in-car. There will be some that are external as we go on. So if you'd like to see a few external, I'll do them at some point because it's nice to actually see them in the detail. But I do love the feeling of speed. For me, it just works for me inside the craft. Do you know, when I listen to this music, it's funny, but it reminds me of something off the Mega CD years ago. It has a certain retro vibe to it. So I really like the sounds and the music they've given to it. It combines different elements of old school gaming as well. So a lot of thought's gone into this. You know, it's not just been put to it. It's all been carefully thought about.
New record. Final lap.
Beating a speed. Fantastic speed. And you can see I'm improving already based on where I was. The reflections on the surface. I love those reflections. Oh, the finish line for another race completed. Loved it. I mean, that for me was sort of in the zone, really enjoying that. So another race complete. This video really works through the Class 1.
New events available. You have just been offered a contract from a racing team. Contracts will ask you to drive a specific ship and present you with an extra challenge for bigger rewards. Be careful though, some contracts require to pay in advance. Others have a penalty fee if they are not fulfilled.
So contracts, it's a new system, way of earning money. It does get more difficult as it goes on. It starts off, obviously you accept the contract, pretty straightforward. But eventually they'll be giving you different ships and you'll be taking on a contract of a ship. You have no idea how that craft is going to handle in terms of the tracks that you're going to be facing. And it's quite challenging as well. So yeah, it becomes more of a gamble rather than an educated guess as you move on.
1, go.
So is this another time trial now? It's this track. It's the one where I kept coming off. So look at that great feeling speed. Love that. So I'm thinking, right, here I come to that jump. Oh no, get it straight. Better. Don't think I'm there yet though, in terms of getting it like consistently perfect, but you get better and better at this. It's amazing really when you just look at your improvements just over a few hours play. I'm on the wrong side there really. That's right, that's what happens.
New record.
Just managing it over the jump again. It's fine. Once you learn your runoff area and you know what to angle for, you'll be okay. You know, but the problem is, in the racing, you're bumping against other cars, so craft, whatever. So that's better. It's nice, really nice when you get through that bit of boost, shoot you out the corner.
Final lap.
As quick as I can, use what I've learned, taking that corner better this time, using the boost, trying to get the craft on the right side, it's better, throwing it in, a bit deeper but that's okay, over the line, and a better lap.
Finish.
So, it wasn't actually, made a mistake at the end there, that was a bit of a shame, but it was a better lap in terms of the clean driving. And that's what you're really angling for, because it's a combination of speed and protecting the craft in terms of shields. Hit the walls too much, boom, it's all over for you. Not too bad yet. You wait till you get into the game proper though, and you come up against some of the more difficult elements, and the craft get very aggressive. So this is probably the final race for part 1 that we're coming to here.
3, 2,
Again, look at that
1,
environment.
go.
So much detail there. So smooth, so coloured, the reflections, transparencies, wonderful visuals, wonderful individual flair. Doesn't look like Wipeout, doesn't look like F-Zero. It's got its own visual. Now got hit by new weapons there, weapons now. So new track, new weapons. And where the hell am I going? I mean, I'm turning because the arrows are telling me to turn, but sometimes you turn a bit more than you need to. Hitting the ground a bit there, not pulling my nose up enough. And you'll see the colour change. So when you go over a sort of a height and you're going down, the screen will turn red. That's a Redout, the blood going into your eyes or whatever. When you go into the ground and you're doing a loop-the-loop and you don't pull your nose up correctly, the colour will go grey. It sucks colour out the screen. So you know sometimes that you may not have been necessarily perched correctly, pitched correctly, should I say. And I'm just trying to go as quick as I can. I'm boosting into corners when I shouldn't be. I'm just trying to keep with these guys, knowing that if I can just keep with them, anything can happen. Just need to be in the getting hit again there, trying to keep my nose up. Power's dropping on my craft. It's not looking good. 10% on the hull. I'm trying to protect myself on a few corners. Don't touch the wall. Over the jump. Just holding off.
New record.
Power is now recharging on my craft. Oh, it's a slower recharge on this craft, but that's okay. You just have to hang in there sometimes. Sometimes though, I actually do just say, right, well, I'm going to die. I might as well just go off the course and reform, because I'm going to blow up anyway in the next few seconds. Boost. You kind of always hold your breath. The music even goes a little bit quiet when you do the jumps. So that's it for this race. There will be some no comment videos coming up on the channel as well, but I want to talk through this career mode. And that concludes part 1 of the Redout action. Ship class 2 is unlocked, and we'll finish ship class 1 and then move into class 2 in the career part 2. But that's it from me for now. As ever, more soon.
Well, how do you like it?
Makes me feel